everyone, welcome you back in my geography class. Today we are going to start with the chapter of agriculture of class 8. In this chapter, we are going to discuss on different subtopics. We are going to discuss on the concept of agriculture, that what is agriculture. We will discuss about the farm system, about the different types of agriculture and their characteristic, about the different types of crop and the geographical conditions that are required for the growth of the crops. We will also discuss about the agricultural development, and we will compare a farm in India and a farm in USA. Let us start with a short story. Gurpreet, Madhu and Tina were walking through the village where they saw a farmer tilling the land. They asked the farmer that what he was doing. The farmer told them that he was growing wheat and had just added manure to the soil. Why? To make it more fertile. He also told the children that the wheat would fetch a good price in the mandi, from where it would be taken to factories to make bread and biscuits from flour. So in this story, we are talking about the wheat, we are talking about the flour, and also we are talking about the bread and biscuits that will be made from the flour. So here we are talking about a plant which is transformed to a finished product. Now this transformation from a plant to a finished product involves three types of economic activities. Now let us understand what do you mean by economic activities. Now let us understand the meaning of economic activities. What do you mean by economic activities? All the activities related with the production and consumption of goods with the use of money is referred as economic activity. So here we can understand that money plays a very important role. Any activity can be called an economic activity when it will involve money. Now let us understand this. Suppose you are going to buy some goods from a seller. Now how you will buy the goods from the seller? When you will give money. So here we can say that between the seller and the consumer, there is a selling or there is exchange of goods with the use of money. So money plays a very important role in terms of economic activities. As we have read that transformation of a plant to a finished product involves what? Involves economic activities. So we can say that transformation of plant into finished product involves economic activities. That means that a plant, as it is transformed into a finished product, here economic activities are involved. Now, as we're talking about economic activities also includes service. Now, suppose you're going to a barber for a haircut. That means you are taking a service from the barber with the help of money. So economic activity also includes service. That means economic activities not only includes production and consumption of goods, but it also includes service. So the transformation of a plant into a finished product involves economic activities. Well, as we are talking about the transformation of a plant into a finished product, this process involves economic activities. There are three economic activities, and they are: number one, primary activities; number two, secondary activities; and number three, tertiary activities. Now let us understand each of these economic activities in details. What are primary activities? Extraction and production of natural resources. That means where we extract and we utilize the natural resources. Here, what we obtain the raw materials. Now, primary activities, from the word primary, we can understand that it means prime. Prime means the most important activity and the first activity. Because from this activity we obtain the raw material, like the plant which we obtain, and then after passing through certain processes we will convert it into a finished product. So this is referred as primary activities. Now primary activities includes agriculture, fishing, mining, because all this are related with extraction and production of natural resources. Now you may think that how we are extracting natural resource in terms of fishing. We are not extracting, but what we are doing, we are taking out the fish, we are eating it, we are utilizing it. So that is why fishing is also referred as a primary activity. Now as you have read in your history that the earlier civilization were the hunters and the gatherers. That means what they used to do, they used to hunt and they used to gather. Now this hunting and gathering is also included in the primary activities, because here also we are extracting and we are producing the natural resources. So this is also included in the primary activities. With time the human beings learned the process of cultivation and they started settled agriculture. Now let us move ahead with the next activity, that is secondary activity. Now what do you mean by secondary activities? Now secondary activities involves processing of the primary goods, or we can say the natural resources. That means the natural resources are obtained, they have to pass through certain processes, and then we obtain the finished product. And this process is referred as secondary activity. Now let us understand with the help of an example. Suppose you want to produce bread or biscuit. How you will do? You will take wheat, which is a natural resource, or we can say the raw material. This wheat will be transformed into a flour, and then with other processes they will get converted into bread and biscuits. So here we can understand, first we are getting the raw material, that means the natural resource. That natural resource is converted into a flour, and then they have to pass through certain processes, and then we are getting the output. That output is the bread and the biscuit. So this is referred as a secondary activities, which involves processing of the natural resources into a finished product. That is referred as a secondary activity. Examples: manufacturing of steel, making of bread, all are included in the secondary activity. Now let us move ahead with tertiary activities. What are tertiary activities? Tertiary activities means all the activities that provides support to the primary and secondary activities through service. Now, what does this mean? Now, we have the natural resources. Now, this natural resource will be transformed into a finished product. How? This natural resource need to reach the industry, need to reach the factory, then only it will be converted into a finished product. So the natural resources will be reaching the factory. How? With the help of transport. They will reach the factory where they will get converted into a finished product, and this finished product will reach the market so that this product can be utilized by the consumers. How? With the help of transport again. Now the transport is actually supporting the primary and the secondary activity, because without the mode of transportation, how the raw materials or the natural resources will reach to the factory so that it can be converted into a finished product. Now let us understand more clearly with the help of example. Suppose you want to produce sugar. So you got sugar cane. Now sugar cane will reach industry. How? With the help of transportation. Now from the industry, we will get the output, that means sugar. Now this sugar will reach the market with the help of, again, transport. So sugar cane will reach the industry with the help of transport, and the sugar will reach the market with the help of transport again. Now sugar cane is included in the primary activity, and the industry is included in the secondary activity. Now, without transport, is it possible that sugar cane will reach to the industry? It is not possible. So, transport here is actually supporting the primary activity and the secondary activity. And this is referred as the tertiary activities. That means all the activities that provide support to the primary and secondary activities through service is referred as tertiary activities. Example, transport, banking, insurance, all this are included in the tertiary activities. Now this chapter is related with agriculture. Now agriculture is a primary activity. Now let us understand what is agriculture. So we can say that agriculture is a primary activity. Now let us know that from where the word agriculture came from. The word agriculture came from a Latin word ager, which means field, and cultura, which means cultivation. So agriculture involves growing of crops, fruits, vegetables, flowers, and rearing of livestock. In other words, we can say that agriculture is the science and art of cultivation on the soil, raising crops, and rearing livestock. Agriculture is one of the most important economic activity in the world. More than 50% of the population of the world are dependent on agriculture. If we talk about our country India is an agrarian country. That means we are totally dependent on agriculture, as more than 70% of our population, or we can say 2/3 of our population, are dependent on agriculture. Now when we talk about agriculture, there are certain factors on which agriculture depends on. Now let us know which are those factors. Factors on which the agriculture depends. They are favorable climate, topography, which means the relief, and right type of soil. Now, the climatic condition varies from one place to another, and the soil type also varies from one place to another. Different types of crop require different climatic conditions. Some crops will need high temperature, high rainfall, high humidity, and some type of crops they need low temperature, low rainfall, and low humidity. There are crops which can be grown on the fertile land, in a plain land. There are crops which can be grown in hilly areas or in desert areas or in forested areas. There are crops which requires a particular type of soil like alluvial soil, and there are certain crops which requires black soil. For example, rice and cotton. Rice requires alluvial soil, whereas cotton requires black soil to grow. So here we can see that the climatic conditions, the type of soil that is required for the growth of the crops varies from one crop to another crop, and also it varies from one place to another. So we can say that agriculture is not possible everywhere. Everywhere we cannot do agriculture. Where we can do it, where agriculture is suitable, where we will find the favorable climate, topography, and right type of soil. Now the land on which the crops can be grown are called the arable land. So the land where we can grow the crops, they are known as the arable land. Now, as we are talking about cultivation, we also need to know about other type of culture. That means other type of cultivation. Now, let us know about the other types of cultivation. Now, let us know about different types of culture. In Latin word, cultura, that means culture means cultivation. So we are going to talk about the different types of cultivation other than agriculture. The different types of culture other than agriculture are viticulture, pisciculture, sericulture, and horticulture. Now let us know what is viticulture. Viticulture, which came from the Latin word for vine, is a cultivation and harvesting of grapes. It is a branch of the science of horticulture. Now let us know what is pisciculture. Pisciculture is referred as the breeding of fish in a specially constructed tanks and ponds. Now let us know what is sericulture. Sericulture or silk farming is a commercial rearing of silkworms for the production of raw silk. It is both an art and science of raising silkworms for silk production. It may supplement the income of the farmer. Now, let us know what is horticulture. Horticulture is defined as the cultivation of vegetables, flowers, fruits for commercial use. So, horticulture is referred as the growing of vegetables, flowers, and fruits for commercial purpose. Now, when we talk about agriculture, we need to understand the farm system. Now, farming as an activity is looked upon as a system. Now, what is the system? Now, as we are getting education through various sources, through various institutions, and this system is called educational institution. Now, in terms of online teaching, what I'm doing, we are utilizing some input. Now, what are the input here? I'm utilizing NCERT. I am taking NCERT as a reference and I am teaching the portion in reference to NCERT. What is the process? Here the process is teaching. My teaching is the process. And what is the output of this system? Output of this system is your mark sheet. How much you are going to score in this particular topic. So as you can see that this is a system where there is an input, there are some process, and then we get the output. So farming is also referred as a system where it includes inputs, processes, and then we get the outputs. Now, what are the inputs? Seeds, labor, chemical fertilizers, pesticides, insecticides. These are all the inputs. What are the processes? Harvesting, tilling, sowing. All these are the processes. And what are the outputs? The crops that we obtain are the outputs. So farming can be called as a system because it involves some inputs, processes, and then we obtain the output. We can also say input plus processes equals to the output, and this whole system is referred as the farm system. I hope all of you understood that what we have explained in today's video. In today's video, we have understood about the concept of economic activities, where we have discussed about 3 economic activities. We have also discussed about agriculture, that is what is agriculture, and also we have discussed about different other types of agriculture along with farm system. If you still have any problem, you can let me know by just a comment in the comment box given below. For better understanding of the chapter, you can take the help of the PDF which has been attached in the description box. If you like my video, don't forget to subscribe and hit the like button. Stay tuned. I will be back soon with a new topic and a new video. Till then, take care, study well and stay safe. Thank you.